Catalina's API for DynamicsSL comes in two flavors, SOAP or RESTful API. I'm going to show you the RESTful API version right now. Because we're using RESTful API, we have a lot of great tools that we can use. We're using in this situation Swagger as a way to self-document our API and allow you to actually review what the API looks like and even try it out, because you can connect the documentation directly to your SL implementation. So you can see here that I've got an API and I can view a variety of different service calls. I can drill down and I can see things like getting a customer, updating a customer, adding a new customer, tweaking the addresses, those types of things. And if I view in further, I can see, okay, if I want to get a customer and I pass a customer ID, I can go ahead and then retrieve data directly from the database. And this is showing the definition of what that data would look like. So what I'd like to be able to do is actually try this out. And you can see here, this is a form. This actually allows me to send data to the API, and the API will actually do the work for you without doing any code. So I'm going to enter in some information here so that I can be validated. We're going to use a company ID. And now I'm going to go ahead and look at this call, and I'm going to go ahead and retrieve the data. So if I scroll down, I can see the actual data that's coming. So this documentation isn't just documentation, but this documentation is actually tied to our SL API. So I can also even do some great things like grabbing this code here, and I'm going to pull up a Bourne shell, and I'm going to drop it in, and I can see it brings back a whole bunch of data. Now, not only can I do that, but I can bring up a nice tool like Postman. Postman is a RESTful API toolkit that allows me to go and do some neat things. So I'm going to import this code that our documentation automatically generated, and I'm going to import it. It automatically puts in headers and the company ID and site ID and any other information that I might need. And I'm going to go ahead and send it. So now you can see that, look at that. It's nicely formatted data that's come back. So what this allows me to do is it allows me to be able to quickly use documentation and automatically integrate directly with SL through that documentation. So now let's go a step further. I'm going to bring back up my API, my documentation. I'm going to close this one, and let me do a patch. Now what a patch is, it's a very important call, and what we do is we can pass certain fields to this patch, and what those fields will do is only update those fields. So that way we won't override anything we don't want to override. So if you look at this, we're going to be retrieving some data, but patch is going to go and send data to it as well. So I'm going to bring back some data real quick just to try it out. I can see that I've got data back, and let me just grab this piece of code, and I'm going to put it into Postman. I'm going to post that raw text, and I'm going to enter in some body information. Now this body information is going to be the actual data that I'm going to send to the database, so actually to DynamicsSL. So what I want to be able to do is only override the fields that I'm going to send, and I'm only going to send one field, which is name, and you can see here I'm going to be sending a patch. So let's first go and look at SL. I'm going to bring up my customer and CT010. I can see that currently says Bright Agrotech. So I'm going to close that down, and I'm going to send this. I hit send, and I can look down, and it's gone and sent it out and brought back the results. And let's bring back SL. And let's go off of here, and go back on, and look at that. It's automatically changed that. It did not modify anything else in this customer record but that. So what this all means is that we can use simple tools like Swagger that's built into the Catalina's DynamicsSL API and be able to not only get information about how the API works and what it does, but actually from this documentation be able to go and test it without doing a single bit of code. If you'd like to hear more about our API and how you can do that, please contact us at sales@catalinatechnology.com, and I can go through this in detail with you quite a bit. Thank you very much.